Welcome and welcome back, fellow fans of Clash of Clans from around the world. It is your host, Galadon, and super excited to be here today because today's episode is going to take a closer look at the meta that is the elite attacking and what these players are doing, what they're using, what they're succeeding with, and why. So we're going to have some specific numbers, some precise breakdowns of percentages in just a few minutes. But first, I'm going to start by taking a look at some recent CWL attacks, some elite war attacks as well from Tribe Gaming, one of the clans that of course is competing in the World Championships every year. And let me tell you, it's not a big surprise when you first look at what the most popular attack is. And as you can see right here, Nicholas from Tribe Gaming is going in with what we all call hybrid these days, Queen Charge hybrid. So the Queen Walk, Queen Charge, along with Hog Riders and Miners, this hybrid strategy that developed a few months ago has really taken hold and become the most popular attack strategy, but not the only. And in fact, I think you'll be surprised at the variety of attack strategies and the unusual attack strategies that these top players are using to grab the triples. So right here, now, of course, you guys may know Galadon has recently become a one-trick pony. But hey, if you've got one attack you know well, why not use it, right? I mean, just remember one thing. And speaking of remembering one thing, yes, of course you could, if you want, use code Galadon in your Clash of Clans game. In fact, in any Supercell game, you can go and enter under creator code Creator Boost. You can use Galadon and it will send me about 5% of what you spend. I promise to give back a huge chunk of it to charity and to you, the viewers. Over 100 gold passes every month and tons of Clash of Clans swag, so thank you guys so much for using it. But more importantly, let's talk about this attack and why it is taking over. Okay, it is flexible in that it can be used on most any base. You'll notice it works on ring bases, it works on these weird square bases, it works on the anti 3-star bases where you've got the town hall way off in one corner as well. And that is probably why we see it so much. Also, that means it works in Legend League. And you need a flexible army when you're out in Legend League trying to get those big numbers, right? The high percentage 2 stars, the 3 stars. So players, I think, are bringing a lot of this. We're also seeing, of course, E-Dragons, but I will tell you this right away. E-Dragons, not even visible in the 3-star meta that is elite clan war and CWL attacking in Clash of Clans right now. We did not see a single E-Dragon attack, although there were some E-Dragons. They were used more so for funneling. No E-Dragon based attacks were used for 3 stars in any of these wars or CWL battles that I looked at, and I was looking at primarily Champion 1 CWL battles by clans that faced Tribe and of course Tribe themselves. So let's go ahead and take another look at another hybrid attack, and this one pretty similar to what I bring, the spell composition, except for, look, and this is where the variation happens. Notice that there's a jump spell. Now, Miners, Hog Riders, jump spell? Of course not, but watch the development of the funnel here and watch the pathing of the Archer Queen. She is going to absolutely penetrate deeply into the middle of this base and get huge value because of the way the base is set up. Not always will you see a Queen Walk, Queen Charge go after the Town Hall, but almost always you're focused on getting the value that is taking out the Eagle, taking out the Clan Castle. And although it seems like the Queen really was focused on the Town Hall, watch the jump spell. Notice the clearing of the area right here. There's nowhere for her to go. With that little minion on the right-hand side, the Archer Queen is headed into the core of the base. Check out the Barb King. A little more insurance to make sure she doesn't pop back outside the walls and head around the base. The jump spell, there it is right there. You'll notice the Archer Queen has nowhere to go now. We know exactly where she's going, which is more than I can say for almost a single one of my attacks. But here she goes, and she's going to hop over the jump spell there and head on to the Eagle Artillery. Of course, Inferno Towers defending Archer Queen, Scatter Shots, Expos, all headed down there. The Siege Barracks, Barb King at the top, helping to complete the funnel. And notice, I mean, just this portion of the attack. Wait, nice rage spell, Mido. Not sure, I guess, I'm not sure what that rage spell was, but obviously a mistake. So making me feel a little bit better about myself right now because, okay, you know what? Maybe this was Mido saying, you know what, I don't even need this many spells. I'm going to swag a rage right in the middle just because that's what I do. So finally, as you see, the funnel is complete. Come the Miners and the Hog Riders. The Archer Queen kind of joins them, and she even soaks up the Warden ability right here. which obviously wasn't needed for the Town Hall. Now, as we watch the remainder of this attack, and you know this base is about to get obliterated, I can tell you that although I've categorized the meta into different attacks, you'll notice that every single attack has unique troops. Slightly different spells or troops are being used. Overall, the strategy is similar. There isn't really a boilerplate, always use XYZ for a hybrid, or always use ABC for a Lalo, or a Hog, or whatever the attack might be. These players, and this is kind of what separates the pro from the amateur, they've planned every single unit. It has a specific purpose, a part of the base they want it to take out, undefended structures, whatever the case may be. That's why you see anything from minions to archers to goblins to a single hog rider sometimes. Right there, Mido picking up the easy triple, making it look super easy. So let's move on and watch Elliot here from Tribe Gaming dropping another 3-star with hybrid once again against another unusual base. And when I say unusual, likely because these are players competing at the top of the game. These are bases that you're not going to find out on the internet. They're not going to be bases linked in somebody's Discord. They're pretty unique. You know, players have designed these bases specifically for CWL or these wars. And although there may be similar bases with layouts that look familiar, obviously traps, bombs, mines, Teslas, and of course Expo, Inferno Tower settings are often going to be different. So just as the attacking armies differ, the bases differ as well, and that's why there isn't one army that's working for every base. And that's why, and we're going to get down to the percentages right here, that's why although this hybrid army, Queen Charge Hybrid, is the dominant and would be called the meta attack right now at Town Hall 13, it's far from the only, and it's not even the majority. So let's break it down and take a look at the meta. Right now, Queen Charge Hybrid is 1/3 of the attacks I looked at, and I looked at nearly 100 Champion 1 and high Town Hall 13 war competition attacks. Queen Charge Hybrid only 1/3, although it was the most popular attack strategy. Second place, have you guessed it? That's right, Yeti Smash, versions of the Yetis. It makes the most sense. They are still very strong despite a couple of balancings and nerfs. They're doing well. Oh, speaking of, we've got some of those to talk about today, although they're so minor that I didn't even see making a video about them that important. I will talk about it in a couple of minutes. Okay, in third place, Lavaloon, Lalo, one of the hardest attacks to master in the game. 20% of attacks, 1 out of 5 were Lalo, and then right behind it, at 18% are bowler-based attacks, whether it's with other troops of some sort, but mostly bowlers made up 18%, almost 1 out of 5. And then, surprisingly, 11% dragons. So that was exciting to see that dragons are still being used with and without bats. And I will talk about the resurgence of bat spells in a future episode. And then last but not least, miners and hog riders individually, meaning just a mass miner attack. Maybe it's a queen charge, queen walk, and the same for hog riders, even less popular right now than the miners. So there you can see the breakdown, and it's pretty straightforward. Queen Charge Hybrid is dominant, but I think, I don't know, and I'm hoping that you guys in the comments will tell me what you think. Is this a good enough variety? You know, Itsu talked recently about the fact that Clash feels a little bit stagnant. Things aren't changing that much. The meta has kind of become set in stone. And is that the case? Do you guys feel a little bit bored by things right now? Do we need a change of pace? Do we need a more significant balancing or a bigger update that could bring new attack strategies? Because let me tell you, the balancing is not exactly wild and crazy. Let's go ahead and talk about these notes that are coming to a future maintenance. First things first, again, they keep on trying to change the Grand Warden's logic or AI, and now they want to make him less likely to follow dragons and P.E.K.K.A.s. You know, there have been several changes to the Grand Warden's AI recently that are trying to get him to behave, so perhaps this is the final tweak? I don't know, but that's another tweak for the Grand Warden. Also, we are seeing a single beam Inferno Tower DPS reduced by 100 at level 7. So after that thing is already ramped up to where it's absolutely melting through your units, it's not going to be quite as strong. But when it does so much damage, I don't see this being big, but obviously there's some sort of nerf that needed to be done there. It's way beyond me. This next one, this makes sense. Super Wall Breakers do feel like by far the most powerful, slightly OP super troop that's out there. Unfortunately for me, they're really the only one that I like to use. and now their explosion radius is being decreased by 20%. So not so much a gimme like it's going to blow up a wall anytime you drop it. You're going to have to be a little bit more careful about making sure it doesn't get destroyed before it gets to its destination. Then the level 7 skeleton spell, and I have to say thank goodness that they changed this, because only 16 skeletons was terrible, and 17 finally. This is going to be perfect. It will be ideal in those situations where you've got 2.8 heroes and 1.9 defenses firing from 4.7 tiles. That extra skeleton makes the difference and will change the lives of, okay, not anybody. But either way, those are the update changes, right? Those are the balance changes coming. Now, update. We have been told that we should expect one update per quarter of 2020. And I hate to sound like a broken record. You get the point. I have been talking about this for a while, and I do anticipate that we're going to hear more news soon, because also remember that Supercell is based in Finland. The Finnish dev team for Clash of Clans, they often take these summer vacations around July. So I'm thinking one way or another, we should see an update by the end of June, or at the very latest, the first week of July. So we'll hope for that as well. Darian said they're shooting for one update a quarter. Obviously, COVID-19 has changed a lot of people's lives. But from what I understand, and I did talk to Darian the other day, the dev teams are doing a great job working from home and still getting a massive amount of work done. And there is some really, really exciting stuff coming to Clash of Clans this year. For now, we are seeing Queen Charge Hybrid being the dominant attack strategy, but is it the one you use? Of course, Galadon uses it all the time. Let me know down in the comments what you think. In the meantime, you have made it all the way to the end of the episode. That means you are the true Gala fam, and I love thinking about it, appreciate every single one of you every single day, so stay inside, wash your hands, be kind to other people, animals, and planet. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, you know what I always say? I'd rather be a meta than a bedwetter.